Good day to all of you. I'm Rita Mohan Kumar from Bachelor's of Medical Imaging. Today I will explain about radionuclide imaging versus other imaging modalities. Okay, I will start with comparison between radionuclide imaging with other modalities. The modalities I've mentioned is PET scan, SPECT scan, MRI, and CT. PET scan is known as positron emission tomography, and SPECT scan is known as single positron emission tomography. The measures used in PET scan is physiology, and the same is for the SPECT scan. MRI is used for physiology and anatomy, and followed by CT. It is used for anatomy. The resolution technique for PET scan is 3.3 to 5 millimeter, and positron annihilation is being used. Positron annihilation is like it detects two events in opposite directions occurring simultaneously. SPECT scan, they use 8 to 10 millimeter, where gamma emission is also used, and MRI 0.5 to 1 millimeter is used for the resolution technique, and nuclear magnetic resonance is applied. And in CT is 1 to 1.5 millimeter, and absorption of X-ray is applied. The use of PET scan is for research and clinical, and the SPECT scan, MRI scan, and CT scan is used for clinical use. The radiation exposure in PET scan and SPECT scan is lower radiation exposure, whereby the higher radiation exposure is happening in MRI and CT than radionuclide imaging. And substance used to enhance the image in PET scan and SPECT scan is radiopharmaceuticals, and while in MRI and CT, image enhancing contrast agent is used. As you can see in this image, in the left side it's CT and the right side is PET CT. So the patient was told that they were cancer free based on the CT scan on the left side. When the patient opted to get the PET CT scan on the right side, the scan showed a tumor. So that is a very massive difference between CT and PET scan. So you can see in the image on the right side that you can see that kind of light kind of enhancement. Next, I will explain about the process of image formation and image storage of radionuclide imaging with other modalities. Okay, starting with PET scan. Each pair of parallel and opposite detectors produces a coincidence line. So a large number of such coincidence lines forms the data set, and by the use of which a cross-sectional image can be reconstructed. So if you see this set of data in terms of two-dimensional matrix is called sinogram. The data pertaining to coincidence events stores as a two-dimensional matrix in which horizontal direction represents offset from the center of the field of view, whereas vertical direction describes the projection angle. So it provides a set of projection data for reconstruction of image. And the image storage for PET scan is the data can be stored in several quantitative image formats such as DICOM, NIFTY, Infertile, ECAT, and Analyze. So the scanner manufacturers, it depends on the scanner manufacturers, have their own image file formats or DICOM versions. The next is SPECT scan. The SPECT scan, the tracer is injected in bloodstream and it's radio-labeled, and it emits gamma rays that can be detected by the CT scanner, and the computer collects the information emitted by the gamma rays and displays it on the CT's cross sections. The cross sections can be added back together to form 3D images of your brain. And the image storage is similar to PET scan too. Next is MRI. The image formation for MRI is starting with magnetic gradients, followed by coordinate system, and phase encoding gradient. Phase encoding gradient is where the process of locating an MRI signal by alternating the phase of spin. The next will be frequency encoding gradient, where locating a signal according to its frequency. Next is k-space, and followed by Fourier transform, which is a mathematical process to produce an image from acquired data point, and the image will be on the computer for display after that. The next imaging modality is CT scan. So the image formation for CT scan is where the CT scanners use special digital X-ray detectors, which are located directly opposite to the X-ray source. As the X-ray leaves the patient, they are picked up by the detectors and transmitted to a computer. So each time the X-ray source completes one full rotation, the CT computers uses a sophisticated mathematical techniques to construct a 2D image slice of the patient. So the thickness of the tissue represented in each slice can vary depending on the CT machine used, but usually ranges from 1 to 10 millimeters. So when a full slice is completed, the image is stored and motorized bit is moved forward incrementally into the gantry. So the X-ray scanning process is then repeated to produce another image slice, where this process continues until the desired number of slices is collected. And the image storage for CT scan is known as archiving, and is done so that the image can be recalled and viewed at a later date. Image data files are comparatively smaller and can be electronically stored on a number of devices, including a magnetic optical disc, which is MOD, and external hard drives. Next, I will explain about the advantages and disadvantages of radionuclide imaging and other imaging modalities. So, starting with PET scan, the advantages is like to show better sensitivity and specification staging and detecting recurrence and detection of unknown or second primary malignancy, like I showed in the image before this, and monitoring treatment and provide functional details. The disadvantages on PET scan is high negative predictive value and lack of anatomical details. And it is also expensive than SPECT scan. Okay, the advantages of SPECT scan is it's less expensive and injection away from camera. Some radio tracers half-lives could allow separated injection in a day. The disadvantages for SPECT scan is only relative flow, and resolution is only like around to 8 to 10 millimeter, and limits with radiation exposure. The next one is the CT modality, which is readily available in any hospital nowadays, and allows for fast examination of whole body and provides anatomical landmarks needed to precisely localize lesions. And disadvantages, it requires ionizing radiation and intravenous contrast medium is contraindication to thyroid Thank you for listening to my presentation. Have a good day.